Hello, everyone. Welcome to another segment of intellectual brainstorming and academic excellence. You will agree with me that this lecture has been all about academic excellence, academic prowess, academic development. You will agree with me that this lecture has been quite beneficial. It has been edifying. It has built up our students intellectually in the area of academics, and also for those that are aspiring to acquire knowledge in their field of endeavors. It has also been impactful and very helpful. Now, my name once again is David Oni. My YouTube and Facebook page and channel is David Oni Wiz. So, if you have not actually subscribed or follow me on YouTube or on Facebook, I'm appealing to you now to do that right away. Please go there now and subscribe or follow me on YouTube or on the Facebook. My videos are there, and these videos are numerous. I have over 145 videos so far on various lectures and topics on political science, government, and public administration. Like I earlier said before, we are taking them bit by bit. Now, in my last topic, I stopped on I was talking about leadership theories. Leadership theories, and I will do justice enough today to conclude the topic on what? On leadership theory. And we are going to look at what we call the Argyris immaturity and maturity continuum. Argyris immaturity and maturity continuum. Argyris immaturity and maturity continuum. That's where I'm going to start my topic today. Now, what do we understand by the Argyris immaturity and maturity continuum? What this theory or perspective is attempting is to focus primarily on the problem of coexistence of individuals and organizational needs. Because, like I said earlier, human behaviors are not the same. They are not the same. And the needs of every organizations are also not the same. So how do we create a balance between individuals and the organizational goals? That is what agris immaturity and maturity continuum attempts to achieve. So agri immaturity and maturity continuum, in his theory, he asserted that human beings are born with certain basic needs. He said that human development from time of birth, right from the time you are born, is normally in the direction of what? Of maturity. Now, let us now quickly look at the characteristics of what? Of immaturity. Under the characteristics of immaturity, we have passivity, we have dependence, we have capable of behaving what? In few ways. We also have what we call shallow interest, and individual's interest under the stage or characteristics of what? Of immaturity is always shallow. Then we also have what we call short time perspective. Short time perspective. Then we also have position. Subordinate position under what the characteristics of what? Of immaturity. Then we also have what we call lack of what we call awareness. Self awareness. Now, all this comes under what we call characteristics of what? Of immaturity. Don't forget, we're looking at what we call immaturity and maturity continuum. Now, Natural movement towards maturity is characterized by the following behavior. We also have what we call increasing activities. Now, we have moved to the second one, which is what we call maturity characteristics. So, what are the characteristics of what of maturity? That is what we are talking about there. Now, one of the characteristics of what of maturity is what is what we call increasing activity. Then we also have what we call independence. At the stage of maturity, there is increased activity. There's also what we call independence. Then the individual is capable of what of behaving in many ways. Then they also have what we call deep interest under the stage of what of maturity or characteristics of maturity. We have what we call deeper interest. Then we also have what we call long-term perspective. You remember when we talk about immaturity, we said short-time perspective. But under maturity, we have what we call long-term perspective. Then we also have what we call superordinate position. Superordinate position. Then we also have what we call self-awareness and control. Self-awareness and control. But under immaturity, we have what we call lack of self-awareness. Now we can see the distinction that the distinction of the characteristics of what of immaturity and what and maturity. When you say immaturity, what are the characteristics? I've just stated them now. Then when you talk about maturity, what are the characteristics under organizational goal and what and also individuals behavior in every organization. Now you can be able to see that this perspective or characteristics are not the same. And because they are not the same, what one organization will achieve as a goal will be different from what another organization will achieve as a goal. Now, Argyris noted that through organization, that though organization, requires mature employees in order to achieve what we call their goals. Many of them are structured and managed in a manner that immature infant-like, behavior is required for intention and success. You can see that for retention and what we call success. So in other words, the operational techniques employed by many organizations are authoritarian and therefore leaves the employee feeling submissive and they're dependent. So when you have an authoritarian organization, you discover that the full capacity of the employee will not be attained because it will feel submissive and dependent. So the social needs of the employees are usually ignored under an authoritarian organization, which is not supposed to be at the end of the day. So the employee